Hey guys, what's up? It's Heather with the Moss Co, and today we're going to be starting our spring crops. I got some new overalls so that hopefully I have enough pockets, and they're like lightweight fabric for summer. So I'll let you know how that goes. I've got my extra camera battery and my headphones, and I can clip this on without it being jostled and all the things. So that's neither here nor there. Comment below if you like my overalls. So we're gonna plant our spring crops. We do this every year. I really enjoy planting spring crops because it's like you get something pretty quick out of them. And to know whether or not something is a spring crop, it's really just a cool season crop. So meaning that the hot sun, it's like, and it just dies on you, or bolts really quickly. They like the cooler temperatures. They can handle some frost, which is good because it's supposed to get down really cold this weekend again, but I don't have, ideally you'd wait till you had like a bunch of days where it wasn't gonna get super cold, but I don't have that available to me. So just doing the best I can. I think that's, everybody tries to have it be perfect, and I'm not about that. I'm just like, let's just try it and see what we get. But spring crops can handle a little bit of cold weather. Some things, if you need to know if something is a spring crop, just Google it, it'll tell you, but usually it'll say on the packet, plant in early spring, once the soil is workable, frost hardy, things like that. And we do have not only our crops for like produce, but I also have some flowers that are cool season flowers. Ideally, I would be planting my cool season flowers in the fall and wintering them over, but again, I don't have a permanent cut flower garden space right now, and I hadn't heard about that or thought about that till now. So hopefully we can get our cut flower garden space that's going to be permanent, and our vegetable garden space that's going to be down the hill permanent. Again, comment below with everything I need to know about rainwater harvesting, because my number one obstacle to having a garden down there is the fact that it doesn't have running water. And I'm thinking that rainwater harvesting might be a good option, but there's no catchment down there. So you rainwater harvest off your roof, and that's all good and great, but I don't have a roof down there. There's nothing. So leave some comments below. I've seen some people do some tarp things or build like basically a roof. Thought about putting a greenhouse down there because it might be cheaper to greenhouse and rainwater harvest than it would be just to trench all the water down there. So yeah, just comment below on that. So let's get back to spring crops. Also, this is probably the rockiest soil. When I see people digging other places, I'm like, oh, you didn't kick up any rocks? Like, comment below what you would do if you had rocks everywhere. Like at any given time, like I can just pull up a rock. They're everywhere. Like just everywhere. Do you need some rocks? It's like a rock quarry around here. I have already put some of my onions in the ground. I did go with the candy onions that were an intermediate day this year instead of the Texas Sweets, hoping that I'll get more bulbed up. But I ordered my onions twice, and so I have extra onions that I need to put in the ground. I always give some to my father-in-law too, but I even have more than that. So anyhow, a lot of this is going to be going, if it's a produce, it's going to be going in the vegetable garden behind me that I still have not put my mulching material in. I made a chip drop order, but I have not received any or gotten any traction on that. So hopefully that'll start making its way pretty soon. If not, I'm going to have to go find some other source of mulching material because I do not want out of control weeds back here, and I would like it to be somewhat aesthetically pleasing. I really, 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 really enjoy growing everything, but I also like it to look aesthetically pleasing too. So if I can meet that in the middle a little bit, sometimes I'll do that. So anyhow, on to spring crops and cool season vegetables. So we're gonna be planting a bunch of lettuce, and I somehow have acquired just a multitude of lettuce seeds. I'm also eating more healthy right now, and so I'm eating a lot of salad, but I have like just a ridiculous amount of lettuce seed packets that are half used. Usually I just pick them as baby greens, so I'll just make a couple rows and do a sprinkle number, and that tends to work pretty good for me. I've also got some cilantro. Cilantro is another one, lettuce as well, and cilantro. They will bolt when they get into full sun, when it starts to get really hot there in June. It'll put up seed heads. The cilantro seed heads are actually pretty nice for floral arranging, but as a general rule, they bolt once it gets hot. I have thought of maybe putting some cilantro in a shade condition, and I'm going to be growing my tomatoes on basically cattle panels this year. And so in between the actual tomato plants, I probably could still put some cilantro and lettuce and see how long it will grow, if that'll be enough shade to keep it cool and happy. Then I've got some Sugar Daddy snap peas. Last year Jackson told me that the only peas he likes are these type of peas, and then I grew them and he didn't like them. And I'm not sure anybody else in my family likes them, but I will find a place and make a stick trellis, because it's all free and we already have it, to put these, because again, they're really happy and pretty, and why not? Some more lettuce. Spinach is another good one. I actually still have spinach in my raised bed down there that's doing quite well. I had spinach for dinner last night. But I'm going to put some more in the ground, because again, I have the seed packet for it, so I might as well. You're not as limited on space on your spring vegetables or your spring crops. I've got a packet of rainbow seed carrots, some kale that can actually go in the ground as well, more lettuce, and some dill. Dill is another herb that once it gets hot, it bolts on you. However, the seed heads on it are beautiful and great for flower arranging. So I will succession plant this. I may put this in some air gardens in my house. So I actually have dill to make pickles, because that was one of my issues, is that this last summer was that I had plenty of cucumbers and good to go, but I didn't have any dill and I had to buy the dill, and that was kind of wah-wah. So I may do some dill in my air gardens. I do start my seeds in my air gardens inside, so I may do my dill after that. But succession sow those, and at least have some out here for fresh when it starts, and then once it bolts I can use it in flower arrangements too, so you're getting double duty out of that. This is a cut flower. This is Love in a Mist. Nigella, is it Nigella? Nigella. And again, it'll say on here, frost hardy, yes, space them 8 inches apart. So it says on here, sow in place in late fall, winter, early to mid-spring, prefers very well-drained soil. Whoops. Full sun apart shade. I will probably put that in the actual bed that the camera is sitting on. And I've got a couple other like cool season flowers that need to go in that bed as well. But I'm gonna put those in that bed that this camera is actually sitting on. And I need to put drip in the bed as well. But that one is actually gonna go back here. I'm gonna incorporate a lot of my cut flowers into the flower bed that we cut out last year, because it's not full and it needs plants, and it's my only other full sun spot. Full sun is something that's hard to come by in my garden, because we are surrounded by these beautiful, amazing trees, and I love them, and I wouldn't change that, because I love the woods. I love living in the woods, but it does kind of put a hankering on your full sun spots. That's why down the hill, having a full sun garden, production garden, would be such a blessing. So maybe we can make that happen. We've also got Ami, which is Dara, and Green Mist Ami, which is another type of Dara-ish thing. They say on these to direct sow these. So we will put these somewhere. I'm really excited about these flowers. I've not ever grown them successfully, but I love them in bouquets. I think they add a super great garden touch. So hopefully we'll find a place back here. Maybe we'll put them in the other bed down there. Persian cress is a beautiful filler flower, very ethereal. So we'll probably put that back here somewhere. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a lot of the things that are up there a little bit later, so cosmos, things like that. I also want to limit what I put up there that's direct sow to just sunflowers, because I have a major vole problem up there, and so I would like to be able, you get those little vole baskets basically. I'd like to have starts to go in there so that I could put something around them to prevent them from being eaten so frequently. And then I've got a silver-tipped ornamental grass, direct seed 4 weeks before last frost, which our last frost date here, we are in East Tennessee. This is a zone 7B. Our last frost date is middle of April, and we are a little bit after. I'm a little bit late doing this. Usually I would like to do this right at the beginning of March, but time got away from us. So also that's going to go up there, I know these are direct seed, but they won't fit back here, are these hollyhocks. I want to put them in the front bed next to my blue spruce. My forsythia died. I realized that the other day when I was driving by. I was like, oh, look at all the pretty forsythias blooming. I was like, why isn't mine blooming? And I walked up to him and, well, it's dead as a door now. So that would be why it's not blooming. But I want to put these where those were, nice, big, tall pops of color, and hopefully the voles just won't eat them. I've got some more lettuce here. I thought this one looked really interesting. So I thought I would try that. And then I've got some more carrot seeds, some more lettuce, another Kyoto red carrot. Thought that was just a really fun one, so I thought I'd try it. Some more romaine lettuce, and then some more spinach and cilantro. So usually what I put in for spring vegetables, you could also do, I think Brussels sprouts, don't quote me on that, do a Google search, but I know like brassicas, like your cauliflower, cabbage, one more, broccoli. All those things can be done as spring crops. Beets can be done as a spring crop. We're not doing that this year. We did that last year, and I think I'm the only one in my family that likes beets, so that's kind of a waste. So anything that's lettuce or leafy is going to go in the row that's also going to have my tomatoes, because that won't hinder me planting those little tomato plants, and they're going to grow on a vining system, and then I can just pull them when I need to, but I won't be waiting on them to be done to put something else in. And then I showed y'all in my last video that I put in all these grow bags for my potatoes. And so I've got potatoes here, we'll do another video on that. But behind those, I've got some that we're not gonna use for potatoes. So I'm gonna put carrots in there. The reason for that is this is super heavy clay soil. Like, it is almost impossible to dig in it between the rocks and the clay. There's no way like a carrot's gonna grow in that, or a potato. It's just not. It's gonna be like, I can't push. Like, I can barely push into it with my adult human strength. How is a carrot gonna grow into it? You know what I'm saying? It's a carrot. I mean, I think vegetables are great, but I don't think they have superhuman abilities. So I do have my onions in here, so I need to put more onions in here. They are doing really well. The cold is not affecting them. They're all standing upright, looking great. So that's going good, but we're gonna get these planted. Again, I'm going to plant all of my leafy vegetables in the row where my tomatoes are going to be. And then I've got these 2 rows here that I'm probably going to fill up with the cut flower type products. I tilled this, but what a waste that seemed to be. I just need to kind of clean it out a little bit. I meant to go buy another garden rake. Y'all, it's been like a year and a half where I've been taking my garden rake and the top's been falling off. So I meant to buy that, but everything that goes in the ground today is gonna get 2 things. It's going to get a smidgen of Land Unsea compost because it is expensive, and so I wanted to use just a little bit. And it's also gonna get Biotone starter fertilizer. Biotone starter fertilizer has been doing me great, and I've heard great things about the Land Unsea. So I'm gonna use those 2 items for everything that's going in the ground today. Other than that, I'm just gonna plant it as the seed packet says, except for my lettuce. A couple of my lettuces, I mean, a lot of the random lettuce varieties, I'm going to sprinkle pretty heavily and just use them as baby lettuce. But there are a couple that I really want to let head up, and that would be this Gustav's salad lettuce. And then also, where's that other random lettuce that looked really cool? I mean, I literally just had the packet, but of course I can't find it. Why would I be able to find it? Oh, this one. This for Ellen Shush lettuce. So we'll plant these 8 inches apart. We got plenty of room over there to do that. So I'm probably just gonna set up a camera and just speed through this process. But again, just remember, everything's getting Land Unsea compost, everything's getting Biotone starter fertilizer, and then we're just planting it based on the packet. It's supposed to be 65 degrees out here, so hopefully I'm gonna be able to shed this jacket once I get it moving around. So let's get it going. we got all that planted. Well, most of that planted. Some of it's gonna need to go in the front yard, but this is the time now. My only fear is that if anything germinates real quick, which is to have some cooler temperatures this weekend, so I will keep an eye on them. If it looks like it's going to freeze and they've come up, I may cover them with some frost cloth. But in any case, that's going to be it for me in this video. Hopefully this gives you some inspiration to go out in your yard and get something started. It's going to be so great in 2 months to actually have something to eat out of my garden. I'm really, really missing that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.